there really isn't anything besides Call of Duty that has ever, like, even Call of Duty doesn't capture my the magic anymore, for me. Except, the beta right now was exciting because it was better than the other two that they had released, and we always get super excited in the beginning, and we're all super positive about the hopefulness of the outcome of next season, et cetera, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, since last time we have spoke, we have won. We have become the first organization in the history of Call of Duty to win back-to-back championships, world championships, that is.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Outstanding.
Thank you. Did what I could from where I was sitting. Also, first org to win a world champs and EWC, which is the Saudi Arabian tournament that they held, the Esports World Cup. The trophy that they gave us was fucking insane. And yesterday, I
was the Twin Towers burning.
Never forget. What are these little dancing figurines on this rooftop in the corner of the trophy?
That is me.
And I hosted a Call of Duty 4 tournament yesterday. It was pretty. Pretty
COD
fun.
4. Who played?
All new school people.
Dude, who's on your team now? I wonder if I recognize any names.
Shotzi.
Okay, I know that name. Who else?
Shotzi, Dashy should be. He's been in OpTic for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. Hook and this new kid Mercules, bro. You have to understand.
Mercules. That's a
good name.
It's been so long since I've heard a good gamer name. That's original as fuck.
That's good. Hey, baby. Oh, pizza? Hell yeah! Thank you.
I love that name. I love a good pun.
Mercules. I like that.
Mercules.
Yeah, Mercules. They call Merc 30. This guy, bro, you have to understand the season that we had. We started out 0-18 after winning world champs, right? Last year.
How many games are there? How is that a recoverable season?
It wasn't. We barely made it to champs, right? Because only 8 teams make it to the league or to the big show, and we went from change after change after change, and then finally I stepped in, and I'm like, hey guys, to Dashy and Shotzi, I'm like, yo, let me help you, man. Get yourself out of the way. Let me step in, because I don't like to control teams like that, right? Like,
right, yeah. Traditionally, you always let the players.
Yeah, the players play, and I'm like, yo, let me step in. Let me help you. Let's, there's this kid named Mercules out of Challenger, so like 2nd division Call of Duty, not quite pro, but this kid comes in to OpTic on his he comes in on his rookie year, wins a Call of Duty World Championship, wins MVP at that Call of Duty World Championship.
Damn, Mercules.
And then a month later, goes on to win EWC. And he had such a fucking insane play, bro. This kid is a fucking monster. Like, I feel a little bit more inclined to like watch and care more, because it was like, and obviously, I don't know why I feel this way in this particular instance, because I mean, I help a lot, right? Like this is my team, right? But in this particular case, I was able to help 2 players, 2 world champions, to get out of their own way and allow me to make a decision for the team that ended up being, a good thing. And the way that I presented to them was like, yo, I got you a present. It's late, but I got you a birthday present. They're like, what? And I'm like, Mercules. And they're like, no more changes. And the rest is history, man.
So he's solidly on the A squad now?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, rookie season, world champion, and EWC will never be done again. And if it does, I would be fucking mind blown. It would be one of the wildest shit that ever happened.
That's awesome. I have one friend who's into esports, like watching the COD and all that and everything. And we don't even talk about it enough to know. I don't know what team he's in. He's asked me about it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't follow that shit at all, but I'm like Team OpTic, because he's the only person in the pro gamer scene I know, and he seems cool as shit, and like, yeah, go OpTic. And he's like, oh, those guys are like just perennial winners though, like they're just constantly dominating. You don't want to see an underdog? And it's like, no, just
we are the underdog. We were
You're the underdog? Well, okay, starting the season as an underdog, but then you tied it up. And also, like, I have a group chat with a bunch of my buddies, just as we're talking about gaming, and the two friends of mine who are super into Battlefield quit the new Battlefield. They're like, we're not really in on this. We don't like it that much. All my friends who were into COD, which is a bigger group, disliked the new COD, and now they're all playing Battlefield 6 a ton. And so I'm curious, like, are you seeing any sort of shift there, or is that just anecdotal?
No, I think there is definitely happening 100%, right? A bunch of people, yours truly included, are unhappy with Activision and the way that they've mismanaged the franchise. The league is in shambles in a way. The only thing that's keeping it alive is the community. Not keeping it alive in a negative way, but like the community and our interest. Like we realized very early that if this thing was going to continue to be something, that we would have to take the reins and just focus on what it is that we do, so that we can continue to, do the things that we love to do. My favorite thing to do is to put a team on the field and hopefully they win a championship and we continue to, stack chips and trophies. And that's my life, man. It's been my life for the last 20 years and I love it. And no matter what happens, with the business side of Call of Duty, like I'm always going to be an ally to the esport, an ally to the community of content creators that surrounds it, and that's me in the biggest core of me, man. Like just somebody who feels a lot for a video game that
sure
is still around.
Is there any? Or is there ever any, since you're so close to these pro players, do any of them ever express like a lot of frustration at the COD franchise being like, this is not what we became pros at? Like, it's so different.
Of course, man. Look, right now, with the inception of the league, right, came the ability to sort of like exclude everybody. Right now, as we sit here today, there are 12 franchises. And then there's a pool of talent as far as the eye can see that could be competitive against the current 12 franchises. This kid Mercules came in and just fucking shit on everyone, right? That has been pro players for a long time. And it is a friendship league in some instances where pro players are looking out for pro players. And they're like, yeah, they continue to keep them as teammates. And as long as they're competitive and as long as they're getting a paycheck, everything's all good, right? They just show up and do that. Then there are the others who care about their careers, care about the future of Call of Duty, because they know that post-retirement they can have a career if they're doing content or if they're doing other stuff. So right now, as we sit here today, if there was a Hector out there that had a team and was hungry enough to be able to do what I have been lucky enough to be able to do with my friends, that opportunity is not there for them because they cannot compete at the highest levels and therefore can't compete in front of like the biggest audiences. So Call of Duty's just in a really sort of shitty spot, man. And
what would you do to fix it?
I was gonna ask,
open circuit, dude.
What is open circuit?
If you want to get if you want to sponsor a team of 4 people, those 4 people can have an opportunity to play against OpTic if they make it far enough in the bracket. Right now, there's only 12 teams, and only those 12 teams can play against each other, and that's it. And there's this pool of talent, right? Because we shrunk, right? There used to be 400 teams that showed up to MLG events. Now there's only 12 teams with 4 players on them. What happened to the hundreds of other pro players who still have it, right? Old and new, that can make an impact and can have like these Cinderella stories that will allow for new brands to be born and new optics to be created, and then that's how you elevate, right?
Sure.
And we don't have that.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
are
Like,
the makers?
I would argue that in the NBA, there aren't many basketball players who belong in the NBA who aren't there now. Right? There's a reason every rookie comes in and tends to not be very good. They need a couple years at that level to get it. But what you're telling me is there's probably a lot of guys who play COD who could compete at the highest level if they got a chance.
Let me put it to you like this. Let's say we win world champs last year and we get on the field and every single team, all 12 teams from last year, do the exact same thing that they did the year before just because it wasn't that serious. that would mean that we went an entire season with Mercules, who just won a world championship as a rookie, and then EWC as a rookie, to not have been able to win a championship in his rookie year and also win EWC.
You said
because
12 teams
there was
of
no
4?
12 teams, yeah. 12 teams of 4.
See, that's not a lot of people. I looked it up because I was curious. There's 450 NBA players. It feels like the small rosters and the small amount of teams, you're definitely leaving some talent on the field, off the field. I was curious, like,
Sure.
I think iron sharpens iron, which is why they're not there.
well, they don't
And
have
even the NBA is the smallest player base of any of the pro sports because you don't need as many people. Like look at the NFL as a pool.
Wow.
That's a
Major League
giant
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball. There's a bunch of guys sitting on the bench just happy to be there. Like, that's
Are the makers of Call of Duty? Do they still do those like events with players, and do they listen to feedback? I guess is the more important question.
Yeah.
Do they ever change things like notably when to player feedback or beta feedback?
Yeah, it depends on the studio. Matt Stonks right now is sort of leading the way. I think he's like our new Vonderhaar. I know all of you are familiar with him. When Vonderhaar left, you felt his absence, right? Because he was such an ally to Call of Duty esports, and although it's such a tiny portion of the overall fan base of Call of Duty, we do carry our own weight in terms of what we bring to the table, right? I've been working at this thing since you guys have known me from the beginning of time, right? Like I'm 20 next year is going to be our 20th OpTic's 20th year anniversary.
That's crazy.
It's crazy because I remember the times, right? When way back when OpTic was not an unpopular team. We were always a popular team, and 20 years later, we're still a very popular team. So we're doing something right, but there's also like a lot of things that we could be doing better. And it starts with hopefully using our influence to enact change that will allow people like me in this day and age to have a shot at building something as beautiful as I have with the logo behind me.
Was it weird, Trent? Because I remember originally, way back in the day when all of us were making commentary videos, that like OpTic Predator, like those guys who just did like crazy sniping videos. Was it weird transitioning out of that? And I remember Hutch was a part of it too. He wasn't as big of a sniping guy, but like transitioning from the like montage scene into the pro scene, where I'm sure you had to make a lot of changes and be like, yeah, sure, Predator, you're great at this, but you can't really hack it when it comes to response time against these other guys with MP5s.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was that because I started playing Call of Duty 2, where it was just strictly competition. There was no like real YouTube videos. Some of the first YouTube videos that we saw back then were, dazzle quality sort of things, and they were all scrim matches, and some Grasse was obviously doing montages back then with the 180 switch pistol to the scope, etc.
The G shot.
Yeah, the G shot. But
he got me hook, line, and sinker. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. We started in competition, and then we realized that we were never going to be good enough to be a top 50 team in the game battles ladder. So we turned into YouTubers, and then competitive sniping, became a thing thanks to a lot of work with me and my teammates. And competition was always there, and then we're like, we're sort of got this montage sniper thing on lock, and there's a lot of viewership there. There's MLG, let's go compete. It seems cool, let's go compete in that. And ever since then, it's just been from the nade shots to the scumper jumpers, all the way till the shotsies and the Mercules now. It's we still have the best sniper in the world in Dashy, dude. It's Formal still competing. He's about to compete in his last Halo World Championships, this weekend, if all goes well. So, we're still doing the same thing that we've been doing for the past 20 years.